So, continuing from the first part of lecture 16 with the last type of unidirectional flow configuration, which is type 4 radial flows. So, the velocity vector in this case has only a radial component, Vr, function of r, theta, z, and t, e cap r, and continuity equation therefore simplifies to the 1 by r del over del r of r into Vr, and this is 0 because the other two terms are 0. So we conclude that the product r into Vr must be a function of theta, z, and t only, because it cannot be a function of r if the velocity has to satisfy the continuity equation. So from here we get a relation which says that Vr must be of this form, functional form, which means some function of theta, z, and t and divided by r. So for this type of flow, this is the only category among all unidirectional flow categories that we have seen so far, where the velocity varies along the radial streamlines. Up till now we have seen that for all types of unidirectional flows, the velocity was constant along a streamline, not varying along a streamline, but this is the only first case rather where we find that velocity varies along radial streamlines because it is varying as 1 over r. So as r goes to 0, we have a infinite or unbounded increase in the radial velocity Vr. Okay. So this also implies that the point r is equal to 0 is a singular point. Singular point मतलब उस पे जो values हैं वो unboundedly increase कर रही हैं velocity की. So r0 is a singular point in all radial flows. जितने भी radial flows हैं unidirectional, of course, we get this kind of a singularity in them, and therefore r is equal to 0 cannot be allowed to lie inside the flow domain of interest. तो जो आपका flow problem है, r is equal to 0 cannot lie inside that, because if it lies then it is not going to lead to correct solutions at as r goes to 0. Correct in the sense physically realistic, not in the sense of mathematics. Right. So I have shown a graph between Vr and r, a general kind of a variation for all radial flows, unidirectional radial flows. So if I fix theta, z, and t, then I can plot the graph, because the function f theta z t will then have a numerical value, and the velocity then simply decays as 1 over r type of function. So I have shown this here, and the flow domain must start not from 0 but from some finite radius r naught, okay, to avoid the singularity. So if we have a radially outward flow, it means Vr is positive, so we will have this kind of a graph or variation, and if it was a radially inward flow, then Vr would be negative, and you will get a mirror image on the in the fourth quadrant of the same graph. Okay. So now let's look at the momentum equation. So V dot del V, convective acceleration term, Vr del r dot Vr er cap, and since er cap doesn't vary with the radial coordinates, so it can be just taken outside the operator, and we have Vr del r er cap, and this term is not 0 because neither Vr is 0 nor del Vr del r is 0. So radial flow, again, like torsional, like unidirectional torsional annular flow, the convective term doesn't go to 0 and it has a radial component. So this means that my simplified equation will not be a linear equation and will be a non-linear equation. But there are some other kinds of simplifications that can be made. For example, if I use continuity, I can write the del VR del R as simply minus VR over R, and so the derivative term in the convective acceleration can be removed, and we'll get a algebraic type of expression for V dot del V as minus VR square by R ER cap. So the radial momentum equation therefore can be written as rho naught del VR del T minus VR square by R, left hand side, and right hand side will be minus del PM del R plus mu naught, and of course it's the viscous term expanded. The Laplacian has been expanded, and the extra terms also written. So one of the extra terms, del V theta del theta term, will go to 0 because there is no V theta in this flow. It's a radial flow. So now I will show that the first three terms written in the square brackets for the viscous force term, the first three terms, they add up to 0. We can show that using continuity. So del VR del R plus VR over R is 0. So if I further differentiate it partially with respect to R, I can get this result that second derivative VR del R square del 2 VR del R square plus 1 by R del VR del R minus VR over R square is equal to 0, and this means that the first three terms in the viscous force term, they just add up to 0, so they can be removed, and so I have a simplified radial direction momentum equation looking like this. Now moving on to the other momentum equations. The theta direction equation says that the left hand side is 0 and minus 1 by R del PM del theta, and the viscous term will contain one term which is 2 by R square del VR del theta. So all other terms are 0 as they contain V theta, and finally the Z direction del PM del Z is 0. So from all the above exercise, we finally conclude that motion pressure is not a function of Z, so it's only a function of R, theta and T, and of course the radial velocity has been found to be of this functional form, F some function of theta, Z and T upon R. So we have a conclusion that velocity varies along streamline and motion pressure varies not only along streamlines but also normal to streamlines. That is, it varies in the theta direction also, because there is a theta direction momentum equation which says that motion pressure will also vary in the theta direction. So not only along radial direction but also in the theta direction. So it means radial flows from all perspectives, whatever flows we have seen so far, they appear to be the most sort of resisting to simplifications of offered by unidirectional flows. So they are the most involved and difficult to analyze. So though you have placed this unidirectional flow restriction on in these flows, so but still the nature of the radial flow is such that it is posing a greater mathematical challenge in comparison to the other three types of unidirectional flow configurations. So ये जो segregation है type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, this is revealing some very common as well as differentiating characteristics in various types of unidirectional flow configurations, and also they are clearly delineating the various mathematical aspects involved in these in the analysis of these kind of flows. So okay, now I would like to summarize whatever we have been doing in this lecture number 16, which was spread across two parts. So let us summarize that now. So on simplifying Navier-Stokes equations for incompressible homogeneous constant property viscous flow, of course laminar, of a Newtonian fluid under unidirectional flow approximation in various configurations, we can conclude the first point is in fully developed flows in channels and ducts and even axial flow in annular domains. So type 1, type 2, and one of the categories of type 3, you can say the velocity, the common features are the velocity does not vary along straight parallel streamlines, because in all these flows the streamlines are straight and parallel, and the motion pressure varies along the streamlines only. So velocity does not vary along straight parallel streamlines, and motion pressure varies along the streamlines only. तो ये एक कॉमन फीचर है. सो दिस इज ट्रू वेदर द फ्लोज आर स्टेडी और अनस्टेडी. यानी आप आगे कोई भी फर्दर एनालिसिस करें इन फ्लोज के ऊपर, वेदर स्टेडी फ्लो की ट्रांजिएंट एनालिसिस करें या स्टेडी फ्लो एनालाइज करें विदाउट एनी ट्रांजिएंट, एंड कोई अनस्टेडी फोर्सिंग के साथ करें, तो अगर फ्लो यूनिडायरेक्शनल आपका इन कैटेगरीज का है, टाइप 1, टाइप 2 और एक्सियल फ्लो इन टाइप 3, तो ये कॉमन फीचर उस पर अप्लाई होते हैं. वेलोसिटी डज नॉट वेरी अलोंग स्ट्रेट पैरेलल स्ट्रीमलाइंस एंड मोशन प्रेशर वेरीज अलोंग स्ट्रीमलाइंस ओनली. ऑफ कोर्स स्पेस में वेरिएशन की बात हो रही है. नाउ सेकेंड पॉइंट इज इफ यू गो टू द अदर टाइप 3 एनुलर फ्लो, टॉर्शनल फ्लो जो है, तो इन टॉर्शनल फ्लो इन एनुलर डोमेन्स या फिर एज आई सेड it could be an exterior of a cylinder which is rotating or interior of a cylinder which is rotating. So in all the cases we have a torsional flow, and the velocity and motion pressure both does not vary along concentric circular parallel streamlines. So in this case the streamlines are concentric circular, not straight, but they are still parallel. So I'll say the velocity and motion pressure does not vary along concentric circular parallel streamlines. So all kinds of torsional flows will have this feature under the, of course, aegis of incompressible homogeneous constant property in Newtonian fluid flow. So velocity and motion pressure both will not vary along streamlines, and the motion pressure varies along radial direction, which is of course normal to streamlines only. So this is the second point, and the third point is for radial flows type 4 configuration. We have just seen the velocity varies as 1 over r along the radial straight streamlines, and the motion pressure varies along as well as normal direction, which is theta direction, to the radial streamlines. Okay, so this is important for radial flows. Finally, we have a point where I talk about using motion pressure and body forces and to determine actually the thermodynamic pressure. So the presence of conservative body force like gravity does not influence the above 3 conclusions that I have written. तो यानी ये जो मोशन प्रेशर को यूज़ करके जब हमने एनालिसिस करी है, और ये जो कंक्लूजन्स मैंने फर्स्ट, सेकंड, थर्ड डिस्कस किए हैं, इन कंक्लूजन्स पे देयर इज़ नो इम्पैक्ट एंड ऑफ एनी काइंड ऑफ अ कंजर्वेटिव बॉडी फोर्स लाइक ग्रेविटी. ओके, क्योंकि वो तो मोशन प्रेशर के अंदर एब्जॉर्ब्ड है. इट इज़ नॉट बिहेविंग इन इंडिपेंडेंट एज एन इंडिपेंडेंट फोर्स. सो वट एवर वी आर कंक्लूडिंग, वी कैन थिंक by not paying any attention to gravity, as we have done in all the analysis shown in these lectures so far. So this is one of the advantages of working with motion pressure. Exactly. Now once the motion pressure is determined, एक बार motion pressure solve कर लिया आपने किसी specific flows के लिए, we'll show it in the coming lectures, then the gravity or body forces can be used. Okay, टू ऑब्टेन द थर्मोडायनेमिक प्रेशर। तो फिर बाद में थर्मोडायनेमिक प्रेशर को लेटर ऑन वी कैन ऑलवेज रिकवर इट यूजिंग दिस रिलेशन, माइनस ग्रेडियंट ऑफ मोशन प्रेशर इज इक्वल टू माइनस ग्रेडियंट ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक प्रेशर प्लस रो नॉट BM, which is the body force per unit mass intensity. So ये लेकिन इम्पॉर्टेंट है कि दिस होल्ड्स ओनली फॉर कंजर्वेटिव बॉडी फोर्सेस। ये सारी जो बातें हैं ये जब भी कंबाइन कर सकते हैं आप प्रेशर फोर्स और बॉडी फोर्स को व्हेन द बॉडी फोर्स इज कंजर्वेटिव। तो ज़्यादातर ग्रेविटी के केसेस रहते हैं इंजीनियरिंग एप्लीकेशंस में मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम, सो वी कैन यूज दिस ट्रिक टू सम एडवांटेज। ओके, सो दस इवन व्हेन पीएम डज नॉट वैरी, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है क्योंकि हमने कई सारे कंक्लूजन्स में ये देखा है कि मोशन प्रेशर sometimes varies along a streamline and sometimes varies along a streamline as well as normal to it, and sometimes it is only varying along the streamlines, and so it is not varying normal to the streamlines. So even when motion pressure is not varying along a given direction, the thermodynamic pressure and you should be aware of this, thermodynamic pressure can still vary along that direction, right? क्योंकि अगर आप देखें तो इवन अगर ग्रेड पीएम में कोई भी कंपोनेंट किसी डायरेक्शन में जीरो भी है तो ग्रेडियंट ऑफ प्रेशर इन दैट डायरेक्शन नीड नॉट बी जीरो बिकॉज ऑफ सम कंपोनेंट ऑफ द बॉडी फोर्स इन दैट डायरेक्शन. So P can still vary along that direction due to body force component along that direction. तो अगर कोई body force का component आपको दिखता है किसी डायरेक्शन में और उस डायरेक्शन में मोशन प्रेशर वेरी नहीं भी कर रहा है तब भी थर्मोडायनेमिक प्रेशर वेरी करेगा. दिस इज समथिंग विच इज इम्पॉर्टेंट एंड यू शुड मेक अ नोट ऑफ दिस. नाउ द लास्ट पॉइंट इज समराइजेशन में लास्ट पॉइंट, फिफ्थ पॉइंट, the governing equations that were simplified Navier-Stokes equations. Basically ये जो governing equations unidirectional flows के लास्ट में हमने लिखे हुए हैं हर एनालिसिस करने के बाद, जो हमने टाइप 1, टाइप 2, टाइप 3 एंड टाइप 4 की करी है. तो लास्ट में हमने बॉक्स में जो मोमेंटम इक्वेशंस लिखे हैं सिंप्लीफाई करके, या सिंगल मोमेंटम इक्वेशन ही है बिकॉज इट्स अ यूनिडायरेक्शनल फ्लो. Sometimes for torsional and this radial flows we have two momentum equations, the radial as well as the theta direction. For specifically torsional unidirectional flows, annular flows and the unidirectional radial flows, इसी में ऐसा है. अदरवाइज बाकी जितने भी कैटेगरीज हैं सबके लिए एक मोमेंटम इक्वेशन है. सो द गवर्निंग इक्वेशन which is the simplified Navier-Stokes equation for types 1, 2 and 3 of unidirectional flow configurations. तो अगर रेडियल फ्लो को एक्सक्लूड कर दें तो we notice that again in brackets these conditions are written. So Newtonian and incompressible homogeneous constant property flow, we find that type 1, type 2, type 3 का जो finally simplify होके equation आते हैं, what we get are linear coupled equations. Okay, this is important. There is no non-linearity there, except of course जो आपका वो था टॉर्शनल वाला जो कैटेगरी है उसमें क्या हुआ है कि वेलोसिटी का इक्वेशन तो लीनियर है वी थीटा का, बट प्रेशर इक्वेशन इज हैविंग a rho v theta square r type of term. So but v theta, since it is governed by a linear equation, and so v theta will be considered as known in the pressure equation. तो pressure का equation भी linear ही हो जाता है एक तरह से. तो that's why I have written that type 1, type 2, type 3 यानी radial flow को अगर exclude कर दें तो सभी कुछ linear है. Okay, the equations are linear, so this is important. Coupled तो है ही है वो because pressure appears in the velocity equations also. So सिर्फ torsional के केस में ऐसा हुआ है कि we have been able to remove the pressure term from the v theta equation. तो एक खाली standing example है torsional unidirectional flow का type 3 में, जहाँ पे there is some kind of decoupling of pressure and velocity, at least from the velocity equation. बाकी जितने भी फ्लोज हैं उसमें सिर्फ ये फ़ायदा हुआ है यूनि डायरेक्शनल अप्रॉक्सीमेशन से कि हमारा जो गवर्निंग इक्वेशंस हैं वो लीनियर हो गए और coupled हैं velocity और pressure के relations. Okay, but the big advantage is that they have become linear, and you will see that it is this linearity which permits me to very quickly rattle off many kinds of exact solutions for these three types of unidirectional flow configurations. So as I said, except for the radial flow configuration, सिर्फ टाइप 4 ऐसा है जिसके गवर्निंग इक्वेशंस अभी भी नॉन लीनियर हैं, कपल्ड हैं. तो देयरफॉर रेडियल फ्लोज के जो एग्जैक्ट सॉल्यूशंस हैं वो दे आर very rare and difficult to generate because of this term, the presence of the nonlinear term in the velocity equation. So with this I would like to end my the second part also, and therefore both the parts of lecture 16 should now be taken together and carefully read and carefully listened to. And therefore I expect that you will spend some time in these two lectures and make very careful notes out of it. Okay, so thank you very much.